Hi, I'm Nathan Sheely, and this is my final project for CS50G's Introduction to Game Development. I'm going to have to go really quick here because there's way too much to talk about in just 5 minutes. Basic idea of the game, it's your Metroidvania, like player, platformer, combat kind of game. The main character is this little white dude, little white sprite. Almost all the sprites are these UI sprites. I just like colored and shaped differently, except for the platforms and the boss, which are proper squares. I made the boss a square because, as you'll see later, he's giant, and in order to make the hitbox just work right with him, with all the mechanics I had, I had to make him a square in order to get rid of these curved edges. He needed proper points. So the player, you have very detailed jumping, like you can tap it and you'll have a little baby jump, hold on to it and you'll have a longer jump, and everything in between. You have wall jumping, you press shift for your attack. We can preview that here real quick, just a second. If I have particle system, I'll play. That's the attack. The eyes, I ended up adding eyes to the player and all the enemies in order so you can easily tell what direction they're facing. Otherwise, it's easy to lose track, unfortunately. There's a component, it's the CMVCam, Cinemachine. Cinemachine I used to make very nice tracking for the player. We'll see in the game. There's a lot of details you can look into it. Cinemachine's freaking awesome. So these enemies, they're just little red dudes. They walk back and forth. If I scroll, they got 3 health, knockback, so you hit them and they'll fly back. They've got, it's a obstacle and ground detector. Obstacle detector, if there's a wall in front or if there's a ledge they're about to walk off, it tells them to flip around. And I added the ground detector, and they work together to tell when they're knocked back, so they don't try and flip around or move and stuff when they're being knocked through the air, and to prevent some weird behavior like that. There are pickups. I think I already mentioned that. That's the very quick and dirty. I have 4 real scenes. There's also a pause menu. I made that in this canvas. It's basically disabled by default. You press the escape key, enables it, everything pauses, brings up the menu. It gives this nice kind of translucent effect. Sounds, the majority of the sounds I made using that BSFX, the tool that we went through earlier in the course. I separated them from enemies because when an enemy is deleted, then they can't play the sound. The physical objects are deleted when they're defeated. There's a way to get around that. You can basically stop rendering it and then delay the deletion until after the sound plays. Or here, you can make the sound a separate object. It plays that sound object, and even if to delete it, it still plays fine. I kept some aspect of it. The eyes still last for a second after they're defeated. I think it was an accidental but neat effect. I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to quickly start playing the game so I can show off everything that's in it. I made the game compile, have its own working thing. I'm terrible at names, sorry, with the working tile thing. It prevents, because of all these right angles, there's some sort of jitter. You can still kind of see it, but it's not nearly as bad when it's done in the little Unity player. You got wall jumping. I spent a whole lot of time on the player controller script in order to get the jumping just right. I felt, because that's what the player's really interacting with, that needs, out of anything, needs to be well done. As you can see, like, the eyes went off, and there's a lot going on. I'm going to try and get to the boss really quick so I don't run out of time. And here it's the bunch of power-ups right before the boss, like that traditional, oh, there's a boss room coming, because you got all healed up. The boss can actually be somewhat difficult. So he's gigantic at first and moves very slowly. He's got 20 health, so I gotta hit him 20 times in order to defeat him. And it gets faster and faster as he gets smaller. Oh man, I'm doing really well this time. So he runs off in his smallest form, and there you go, you win. I'm going to try this one more time to show the defeat screen. I'm just going to lose to one of the first guy I face. So there's details that went into all this. So I got hit. I didn't add a sound effect to when getting hit, which is probably short-sighted, but you know what, there's RLSC. Game over, and I quit, and that's it. Thank you very much. This was my final project for CS50G.